Okay, so today was a big day in the Oval Office. You had President Zelensky sitting down with Trump and his cabinet, and there were some words that were exchanged in the Oval Office. Now, where I'm going to start it is right before the intense part. It's going to be where the reporter from Poland actually asked Trump, well, hey, back in the day when I was young, saw America, loved America, thought America was amazing, all this, loved the muscle cars and all that, but kind of wary now at this point. Me and my friends, we're kind of worried, and we want to know, where does America align? And once he asked that question, Trump did answer. JD jumped in, said a few things, and then Zelensky spoke to JD, and things went left. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it up, and we're going to watch this together. And boy, oh boy, this really happened. All right, let's get into it. By the way, if you want to see the whole entire thing, the most reliable video I've seen so far, go to Forbes Breaking News. It shows the whole entire thing. I've noticed a lot of other channels and stuff like that have only put up the edited version and pretty much started where Zelensky starts talking to JD. But if you want the whole entire situation, I recommend going there and then starting at the 38-minute, 17-second mark. And that's where, after the CNN reporter asks her question, this Polish reporter comes in and asks, and that's when the snowball starts to roll downhill. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States, not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good of the world, I'm aligned.
And right there, that was actually well said. See what the Polish reporter was trying to do, trying to really, see who we actually align with. Trump gave his answer, said that, hey, I align with the United States and I align with the world, right? So the best thing he could have said, he didn't even have to say the world. He could have just said, I align with the United States. That would have been perfect. Boom, right there. Enough said. But as Trump, in a spectacular fashion, he doesn't just stop right there. He continues on, and boy, did he continue on and on.
And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred.
Which, by the way, okay, if you watch the whole entire thing, there are certain points where Zelensky gets actually really visibly mad when Trump is talking about, the lives that are being lost and everything. But I mean, to be honest, it's the truth. It's just one of those uncomfortable truths that he has to sit through and go with and endure.
And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side is exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace,
Well, JD Vance is one hell of a hype man,
is maybe engaging in diplomacy We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Well said.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is where it goes left.
He occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014.
Yeah. So he
I
killed.
was not here.
Yeah, but yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him gas contract.
So earlier in this, Zelensky claims that Putin has broken the ceasefire agreement 25 times. I don't know how accurate that is, but that is the reason why he's talking about the ceasefire right now and why he has doubt in it, just because of, I guess, this has happened before, there's been sit-downs, but every single time Putin has broken this. And now this is from Zelensky's point of view.
Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems?
What?
Bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful
I will answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the
answer.
United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction?
I'm not gonna lie, that's how you vice president. That right there is how you come in as vice president and you handle a situation. I don't even know if that's a part of the requirements. A lot of people don't even know what the vice president does for the most part. But this right here, you support your commander in chief no matter what. This, you didn't see this from Pence. JD Vance, I gotta give it to him. Whatever, he is behind Trump's back on whatever situation, and that is his job. You vice president.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
Here we go.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
You can
We're
visibly
trying
see
to
Trump
solve the
turning
problem.
orange.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was-
have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think about-
gambling with
what do you
World
think
War III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you.
Far more than a lot of people said
Well,
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Now, to be fair to Zelensky in this, he did say thank you multiple times towards the beginning of this meeting. So this right here is kind of just it is gang. They are ganging up on him. It's kind of like a WWE match. This is a handicap match. It is a gang up moment. But to be fair to Zelensky in this part, Zelensky did say thank you towards the beginning of the meeting today. So.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
He-
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
Can
Wait
I
a minute.
answer?
No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I
You have a damn good chance of
We are
coming out
staying,
okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your president.
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If
Vance?
you didn't
You
have our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's gonna be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
Accept that
thank
there-
you
accept
to
that-
American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going
I
on.
understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
I tell you
You're
again,
running low
I
on
know.
soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't-
you're
please,
running
Mr.
low
Brad.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
Brad.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look. If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting
Of
killed.
course, we want to stop the war.
But you
I
say you
said-
don't want a
but I
ceasefire?
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That
It
wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That
what
wasn't
is
with me.
made. It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden who is not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with, that was with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama who gave you sheets and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You gotta be more
I don't know
thankful.
quite what he means by the
Because
sheets.
let me
I don't
tell
know
you,
if it's
you
some
don't have the
military
guards. With us, you have the
weapon
guards.
code,
But without us, you don't have any guards.
or if he means like actual like sheets. Like, hey, bro,
So you
hey,
deal to make.
that's some sheets for these rocks you
Because
about to
the
lay on.
attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
What if
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? What if-
Oh my god. It's funny how a lot of times how Trump, especially in this one, he's gotten some really interesting questions and everything, and his responses have been, this is definitely Trump in top form when it comes to like responses to the media. I will give him that. He was definitely on one today.
They broke it with Biden because Biden didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him in Russia. Russia. You ever hear that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents.
Marco Rubio's like, I wish I was anywhere but here right now.
The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break it with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if he can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And you people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think?
What's this negotiation going to look like?
This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about this.
Okay, and I mean that's pretty much where it wraps up. Now, it does come off as bullying, but at the same time, we did give a lot of money towards this war. We've given a lot of weapons, money, resources towards this war. So at the same time, why it seems like, hey, you know, it's Trump and JD just jumping in and then boom, 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 and Zelensky having to have to be up against the ropes to defend himself. At the same time, if you go back and watch during the last administration, you would see Zelensky walking through rose gardens. You would see Zelensky popping up at award shows. And it's like, you're in the middle of a war right now. What are you doing? We're funding. He complained about the fact that we didn't give enough money to help out with this. So while this does seem, I get where Trump and JD are coming from, because it's kind of like, hey, you come here, now you're trying to make this whole thing about, well, you're trying to get us to directly choose a side between you and Russia. And that's not right now. That's not our job. Our job is to, hey, well, to be honest, it's not even really our job, but it's what we're doing is to help you guys come to an agreement so that way this can all stop. This is a situation that we shouldn't even be involved in, but here we are. So I get where both sides are actually coming from. I get where Zelensky's coming from because it's like, hey, you're talking to me like this in front of the whole entire world. I'm the president of my country. You guys are just saying stuff like this. And, you know, it's more of a, it's intense for him because he's directly involved. But from JD Vance and Trump's point of view, it's kind of like, hey, look, we've been funneling and throwing money at you. And for you to be doing this right now here is kind of like, what are you doing? This isn't the time, or, you know, you gotta show a little bit more humbleness here, right? So I get it. But I at the same time, like, I can't believe this even happened. I can't believe this happened live. I don't know how this is going to affect in the future. I don't know how other countries are going to look at, hey, when it comes to us in the future. Will they look at us like, hey, you can't mess around with America? Or will they look at us like, well, we can't help America anymore? How is this going to turn out? Only time will tell. Hopefully that once this cools down a little bit, we do see this deal between Ukraine and Russia, stop all the bloodshed. That is the main goal, right? Trump has said that multiple times. That is his primary goal, okay? So, you know, hopefully that's where we can come to some kind of resolution. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about it. I will leave the link to the original video so you can go back and watch all of it yourself. Get the full context. Don't just go off of a 7-minute video. Anyways, like the video, share it, and I will catch you on the next one.